Welcome back to your weekly look inside Hilltopper Athletics. I'm your host, Jack Connolly, and today I'm joined by a new face in the program who's not so new, been here, play here, Hilltopper alum, and in her first year as Hilltopper assistant, Kiani Clark. Appreciate you joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
First off, Coach, what's it like coming back to coach your alma mater?
I mean, like I say it every day. This is my dream job. Basketball's been a part of my life since I was 4. Did big things here as a player, and to be able to come back and have it just be family, it's almost like I never left. I enjoy and love being here every day.
You said it's almost like you never left. Has anything changed about Coach Reel since your playing days?
Not much. I gave her a hard time when I came back last year as a grad student, saying I remember her being tougher on us, but being on the other side of the fence and working alongside her now, nothing's changed much. JJ's, she does things the right way every time, and so nothing's changed. If anything, our teams have done what they said and left it better than they found it, so I'm glad with which way the program's going.
You're a Texas native. You grew up here. You play college ball in this state. After your college career, you went overseas and played in Australia. Has your coaching style impacted after your professional career?
Absolutely. I think wherever you go with basketball, whether you're just watching it, playing it, you pick up things. The game was definitely played different over there, and I think we had a 24-second shot clock, so learning to manage a different speed of game. It also helps slow the game down as much sense as that makes. So on the coaching side of that, it helps me pick apart the floor a little bit more.
You're in charge of drawing up plays coming out of the timeouts. As a former player, what goes into making those plays in the spur of the moment and just making sure you get creative and just trying to get points at the end of the day?
I think for me, it's about the research and stuff that I've done before. All the studying and the film that we watch, we know the team that we're going to play and how they're going to play it. And then throughout the game, knowing who has the hot hand. I think I've got a playbook of over 30, 40 plays that I keep on the sideline that's on the ring that can go for any situation. So I think preparation is the key. It's not just spur of the moment, pulling it out of a hat. It's kind of taking all that and put it together.
I talked to Coach Reel about last week. She mentioned winning the winnable games and she talks about getting out the bus, coming ready to play every single day. Mm-hmm. The team must have been listening. They picked up 2 critical wins on the road trip.
Absolutely. I think that's been a saying of hers since I was a player here. We read the Energy Bus book when I was here as a player, and so she's always used that. We've got to be ready to play anytime, anywhere, and it's not about winning, that as advertised game you're getting to play the number 1 ranked team. It's about winning the games you're supposed to win, and those games come more often than not in this conference that's so closely competitive.
What has made your backcourt so potent these past couple games?
I think they've kind of settled down and known that the pressure's not just on them. The team's doing a great job of relieving pressure from them. When teams are pressuring us, they're able to find shots that they don't have to necessarily get on their own. We're moving well within our offense.
We're here with Ronnie Cantu. Big game against Arkansas Fort Smith, career high 19 points. Ronnie, thanks for joining us. Okay, 19 points, career high. When during that day did you kind of know something was different? When did things start clicking, and how does that confidence make you feel in the midst of it?
Yeah, I think, now that I think about it, I think going into the Arkansas Fort Smith game after that Oklahoma Christian game just really brought a lot more confidence, not only in myself, but confidence more so in myself with my teammates, and just knowing that after that momentum swing, even from the Texas women's game to the Oklahoma Christian game to the Arkansas Fort Smith game, I knew that we were going to go in full force, and after having a really, really good start in that Oklahoma Christian game, I knew that momentum wouldn't stop, and getting that first bucket, the and one, and draining the free throw really just boosted me and had my mindset going, saying, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be our game, and we're not leaving Arkansas without a win.
7 for 10, I believe, in the game. Just when you're in that kind of zone, what are you feeling?
Honestly, feels like I could not miss, and that was kind of the mindset. That was what I was telling myself in the back of my head every time I was going up for a jump shot, or whenever Jada, I do remember that one pass that she gave me off the cut, even just those passes from Lauren or Izzy or really Sammy, anybody to me on the three-point line, just felt like I had that confidence, and I had that I'm going to make this mindset going that entire game, really. So
your starting backcourt teammate, Lauren Catherman, helped carry the load, 18 points. Coach Clark said in her earlier interview that you guys have really started to settle in, knowing that the pressure's not all on you guys. What has that been like seeing everybody on the team step up, especially in the recent success?
Right. Well, Lauren and I, as point guards, obviously, when you think about it, and when you just think about point guards in general, it's a lot of the ball handling. And as much as that is like a heavy load on us, I feel like us just being able to get it across court as quick as we could, with Morgan or Izzy flying down the sides, and just being able to run like that primary offense and not necessarily having to settle into an offense and having to bring the ball back out and kind of, there's times where we can get a little bit flustered as far as running a set goes, and in the heat of the pressure and with the shot clock going down, I feel like just being able to trust my teammates with the ball and knowing and putting the ball in their hands and saying, I know they're going to make this. I know we're going to execute this play. So really, Lauren and I, especially this last game, we've been feeding off of each other really well. And, pat on her back, that 18 points, those free throws they were necessary, and really proud of her as well.
You mentioned kind of getting into the early offense, not having to set things up. Really, since the Texas woman, that first half, you guys have been able to get some turnovers with the press, and how has that kind of helped you turn defense into offense and actually to take some pressure off of your half-court offense?
I feel like it's definitely something that's been different going into the latter part of this season, and that's something that's helped us ultimately like grow this sort of identity, and that's turning our defense into our offense, and that's something that JJ really emphasizes, and something that the team has really emphasized as well. And that's actually something we really focus on in practice, is that primary break, and not necessarily having to set the offense up. If there's something easy that we can get, dump down inside to Sammy, get a kickback out or backside to Izzy or Lauren or Morgan or I, for the three, and even like trying to get it back into the post. I mean, if that's where we're going with it, that's where we're going with it. And we're lucky enough to have Jada, who's really good off the bounce, and if we're able to get it to her inside, we know she's going to rip, and she's gonna get something out of that.
Okay, you had the big road sweep, best week you had this season. Just how do you build off that momentum heading into these big home games?
When I think about that Texas women's game, and even though we did get an L that day, it really felt like a win to me, just knowing like our fight and our passion and our willingness to keep that momentum throughout the game. Didn't fall in our favor, but I really felt we learned a lot from that. So going into the Oklahoma Christian game, it was kind of like, we're coming over here on the road and we're taking this one. We couldn't get it that week before, so this week these two games were going to be ours. We were going to get these wins, and we held that with that mindset. And that Oklahoma Christian game was tough, and I feel like as much as it wasn't necessarily us switching leads, we really kept that lead the entire game, and our willingness to keep it and to hold that momentum. I know that we had somewhat of a 7-0 run at the end of the second quarter in the Oklahoma Christian game. They had a 7-0 run, and so it would have been easy to say, you know what, they had the momentum right now, but the willingness to come into that third quarter and say, no, we're going to grab this momentum back, and then take something out of that and just continue on, stretch the lead, and take that W. Same with the Arkansas Fort Smith game. That was a tight game all the way around. That was a 3-point game, our way or their way, pretty much the entire way, besides that 14-point lead that we did have in the first half. But just being able to hold that lead and keep that momentum, even when it felt like they were going on a run or they were scoring threes back to back. We always had that little bit of fight, that want and that need, and that knowing that we're gonna grab that win.
All right, thanks so much, and good luck on the games.
Thank you.
Kate Bradley is pickpocketed, and Morgan Gary comes up with the steal. Cantu foot race, wins that foot race against Kate Bradley, and gets the layup to fall.
Turning the page to this week, what's it going to take for another perfect week?
It's going to take us putting practices together. We've had 2 great practices, Monday and Tuesday. We'll have to lock in tomorrow as we go into scout, and then Thursday really tune in on what we have to do against the zone that we know we're going to face and just execute.
Coach, appreciate you joining us. Don't miss the Hilltoppers in action this week, Thursday at 5:30 against UTPB, and then on Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Thank you.